Hey guys, it's Crystal. Welcome to the behind the scenes of Logan and Allie's wedding, starting with the rehearsal day. Good morning. It's a beautiful day for a wedding. Today we are going to be going back to the Sterling. One of the things I do is grab me a cup of coffee, grab some breakfast, because I know I'm not going to get a chance to eat until maybe around 6 or so. Once I get started, I'm like a dog with a bone. I cannot lose track. I want to get the projects I'm doing done. Anyways, so sometimes I have to put little notes on my steering wheel. That way I don't forget anything, like adding an extra black tablecloth at the rehearsals that we decided. So, and the whole entire van is packed up. So the first thing we're going to do is arrive. We're going to write their names on the billboard, pointing the arrow direction their way. And we're going to get started setting everything up as normal. All right, guys, you know how we do here at the Sterling. First and foremost, I stop here, get this done. That way everyone knows which venue to go to. Time for me to drive up and park. And I'm gonna start loading everything in first. And then I'll start decorating. The thing I'm gonna do is put my wedding emergency kit over here in this little corner. And now it's time to get everything brought inside. Alright, you guys know how this works. The unloading process takes a bit of time, but I hyperlapse this video to kind of show you what I'm doing. I love my rolling cart. It saves me in so many different scenarios. So these are all my bride's items. First of all, I'm going to place everything ready to go in a general order, and then I can start working on the tables. So a huge pro tip is honestly, if you're bringing your own things to keep me on schedule, everything has to be already pre-opened, unpacked, and ready to go. I've gone back and forth as to whether I should just collect these items beforehand so I can go ahead and get them ready for me just to grab and place. However, people usually forget to leave space in their car if I do that to collect those items again. So I'm still on the fence as to what I should do to make this process quicker. But since all of the centerpieces were personal items and they weren't already pre-prepped like I would typically do, I was super behind on my schedule to try to get everything on task, and it really stressed me out. So I might go back to just going ahead and collecting different items that are not mine already in advance, so I can go ahead and have them pulled out of their packaging materials and ready to place on table. I'm also making sure that I can put together a clump of tables I'll have to pull out when it's time to flip the room and leave enough space for the general table's use. But right here, you're going to see me pulling out every single one of these cylinders, which are pretty tightly packed. Then I had to unwrap all of the candles, place them in the cylinders, and I had to go unwrap all of the votives, place the votives on the tables as well, and then also break off the stems. So there was like a lot of moving pieces to these centerpieces, which ended up putting me behind schedule significantly than my typical day-to-day schedule. So, pro tip is to always literally unpack all your votives, put them in a box completely ready to just take out, place on tables, unpack all of your candles, go ahead and put them in the cylinders you want already so that things are just grab and place. But here's how it's looking so far, and I've got a lot more to go. But first, we have our photographer here, so I need to go ahead and get the arbor set up so that she can do some detail shots with the dress. While I was setting up the arbor, I was chatting with Hannah about her schedule to make sure that I can stay on task with what I'm setting up so she can get all of those shots that were on the wish list of the bride and the groom, and I went right back to working on the table layouts. So I'm typically not this far behind whenever I'm setting up. It's mainly just all preparation. So as long as everything's pre-opened and pre-prepared, I'm usually done much quicker, but I'm making sure that all the tables and the table numbers are adding up correctly, and then I'm going to start working on that hedge wall. Hannah had some spare time, so she helped me put the charger plates out, which was a significantly helpful thing to do because it is very time consuming with the place settings. And I had some more girls who came to help with the silverware, and I just put out a display to show what it should look like so we can copy and paste it. After I put up the hedge wall, I was called in to pin the boutonnieres on the boys. I'm pretty fast at it now, so if anyone needs help or no one is specifically in charge of doing the boutonniere pinning, I'm going to go in there and start helping them so they can continue with their photography shots and their detail shots outside. As soon as I was done helping them, I went back to continue working on that hedge wall. So one of the things that we do is if we have a neon sign that you're renting from us, we already have it pre-prepped. This neon sign was still unopened in the box, so you're going to see that I had to kind of do a little bit of problem solving by trying to figure out how to pin it without any string. I had some string in my emergency kit, but not enough to really have too many mistakes with them. And when you rent a neon sign from us, what we typically do is we already have had it opened, and we have it to where we use fish wire, and then we connect a long piece of fish wire like a loop, so that all we have to do is connect a Velcro piece into the middle of the long string, and we would have just Velcroed it onto the top pole so it hung down to the middle and would be perfectly straight. That's one of our pro tips. But like I said, if you are ordering all of this stuff brand new, always open it and always think about how can we make this go quicker, especially if you don't have a coordinator who is used to problem solving. Now you can see that I am not 100% done with my plate. It's actually really difficult to get it completely straight when you're doing it on your own. So what I did was just kind of put it up for now, but I'm gonna go back and fix it when I have more time. One of the most important things for your coordinator to do is to use our time wisely, which means that's a quick fix for later. Right now I need to make sure all the other details are completely ready to be transformed for the photographer, videographers, and your guests. That way if I am running behind in the future, it's not gonna be a hard fix for me to So I am officially done. I did end up fixing the neon sign. We have an appetizer table over here. It's perfect whenever you want to have something for your guests to munch on during cocktail hour. And it's also suggested that you use a table not connected to your main food table. We have the photo booth from Elevate, and now we're officially at first looks, and my setup is 100% complete. Alright, so DJ is on site and set up, the photo booth from Elevate is on site and set up, and I have officially fixed the neon sign to where we're happy with it, and we're officially ready to go. So it's tuck away time, making sure everyone has what they need. Don't forget the cake knife, everybody, that's super important, but also make sure to have your napkins, your forks, everything that you're going to need for that moment handy. Now that it's tuck away time frame, we have closed the doors on the garages, and we're getting ready to hop on into our ceremony. When ceremony starts, I'm on the side giving a thumbs up to everyone, letting them know that they can go ahead and go down. There's so many different directions that you can do. I'm over here helping out with the little ones. And then we make sure that mom can make it down the aisle. Woo-woo.
marriage license is still upstairs. The best time to do the marriage license is literally before you go into your reception. So we're going to make sure that the officiant has that handy, because your night's going to get away from you. It'll be a lot easier to go ahead and do it before you get really busy with all of the food, the first dances, the cake cutting, all that fun stuff. Alright, so once you guys are doing your post-ceremony photos, I make sure that you have chairs at your tables if they're not already set up. I'm also going to do any of the room flip things, like plugging in all the up lights, setting up any games that you're going to be having. And if you're going to be doing a bubble entrance, sometimes you have to do that in a different time frame, like use your bridal party so you can get good lighting for photographers and videographers, which we coordinate that all together. Okay, so room flip is officially done. We're getting ready to do the grand entrance. When you have exact amount of seating for your guests, sometimes trying to get the chairs figured out, like who has a chair, who doesn't, with who's gone to do photos and who hasn't, especially at a venue where you use the same seatings as you do for the ceremony to the reception. It's a lot of organizing, so I've been working on making sure everybody has a seat. Anyone who doesn't have a seat's gotten a hold of me. They know who I am, they know I'm the coordinator, I'm here to help. So all the questions have been going directly to me so I can answer them, get them taken care of right away. And here soon we're going to be doing our grand entrance. So right now they're doing their little bubble moment outside. We had to do that a little earlier because if you wait until it's later, it's gonna be too dark for that. So I'm gonna go find the officiant because we still need to sign our marriage license, and then we can go and do our grand entrance and start our reception. So I made sure that we had the officiant and got that marriage license signed.
It's okay. They're gonna listen and walk in.
And he's talking with David.
Okay. They've got 30 seconds. Just listen for your name.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you please turn your attention to the door that everybody walked in, we now like to bring in our bridal party. Coming in first today, please welcome warmly Ava and Blake. And next, please welcome in the room Alexa and Brandon. Please welcome Jennifer and Matt. Coming in next, Blaine and Payton. Give a warm welcome to Angela and Jamie.
Let me see some dance moves.
And ladies and gentlemen, your maid of honor and best man, Michaela and Corey. And now, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the second time tonight for Mr. and Mrs. Logan&Ally.
Once you enter into your reception, you're going to go in and get in line with food with the DJ's instructions, and all of your vendors are going to go behind you, so we're ready for what happens next, which is cake.
If you want to be nice about it, yes. You should be nice about it.
I chat with you guys beforehand, so I'm not kind of taking over the spotlight when you go up to your cake table about the process of how to cut your cake, and I'm there on the sidelines if you have any questions like you saw. After you do the cake cutting, I'll give you a slice of your cake so you guys can enjoy it while you have your speeches from your best man and your maid of honor. Have a little bit of a buffer time and we'll go into the first dances. The first dances can look different for every wedding. It just depends on who's important to you and who you want to be able to have that moment with. And after you guys get to have all of your first dances, we'll go into some of the other activities like the bouquet toss. If you're doing a garter toss, we'll do the garter toss. Sometimes we'll jump into icebreaker games like the shoe game seen here. Over here, I've chatted with the DJ about the shoe game, and I made sure that the photographer and videographer were ready and set before we started. After that is done, now I'm going to really start putting in the hard work of cleaning up the tables, which is going to start with removing all of the charger plates. When you rent these items from us, they have to come back completely clean, and I will say that it did not get done with me that night. I had to bring them back to the office to clean to keep me on task because there were so many items. It's a Sunday and the venue closes an hour earlier, which means my time to get everything broken down is cut by an entire hour so we can get out in time. So we started the same time frame as a typical wedding, and I need to be out an hour earlier. That means I'm not really going to have time to wipe down any of the charger plates, but I am collecting all of those. I'm collecting all of the centerpieces and kind of making my tables ready to go. What's happening in the other side is just having fun and dancing. Everyone's just enjoying their time over there. Nobody's really in this space. That's why I'm beginning to clean it now. If you wait too long to clean these items up, you're not going to have it done in time to get out of the venue. So I usually suggest to start working on that as soon as the main things are done, like the dances. All of the items that do not belong to me, I'm placing them on a separate table for them to be collected by different family members or friends who let them borrow their decoration items. And I am packing away all of my decoration items and making sure to put them into my vehicle as I get done. So right now I'm stacking them onto my rolling cart so I can roll all of these charger plates out of here and get one of my larger tasks done. You'll see somebody on the right side, she began helping pack up the cylinders because they were her cylinders. So she's going to start working on that, which helped me tremendously to take a little bit off of my plate and start focusing more on getting the rest of the decorations that belong to Athena completely packed up. If the venue you book has a cleanup option, it is highly recommended by me to use it. At the end of the day, I know we're saving money, but convenience matters on the day of your wedding, and you will want to pay anything to just be done with it. I promise you. So for our day of coordination, we do not oversee any of the cleanup. You see there's hangers on the floor, there's food all over the floor that still needs to be swept. The chairs would need to be put away, the tables would need to be put away. We have an hour before the venue would close. I'm still focusing on just getting decorations broken down, and I haven't stopped moving since the last dance. So that's just kind of an example of how much work goes into just tearing down decorations. If your venue does not have a cleanup package and it's all up to you, we do have an all-inclusive coordination package which does apply us to assist with your cleanup. This package we just did day of, and they paid for cleanup through the venue, so we don't have to do any of the cleanup. However, just as an example, if we were, I would be checking different areas after I've gotten accomplished with my decorations and making sure nothing is forgotten, like the food in the fridge. That would be a damage deposit if it's not thrown into the dumpster. I'm going to appoint different people that you have to help because we still can't do it all on our own. We would need people to be able to help us get that done in time. However, we'll oversee that it is accomplished. And as long as we have finished with all the decorations, getting those put away, we are going to be helping as well as much as we can. Any of the guys that are there to help carry out the large trash bags are definitely needed for help. And the chairs, we would have a crew of people who are responsible for putting up the chairs, a crew of people who are responsible for the tables, and a crew of people who are responsible for the trash. If you have those three things and three groups of people, we'll oversee that all of those things are done before we leave the venue, and normally I am the last one out. If you think that our coordination could help you on your big day, let us know.